Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. I am still working on my Jasper Sea. This is kit number 4 of my 5 oldest. So I'm trying to work on this while I'm working on other kits as well to try and get everything done. So let me zoom into where I'm going to be working and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, I've got my timer started. I've got some drills poured in here and I'm just going to jump in. So what's been going on in my regular life? And I apologize in advance, you guys. I don't know how much of this is going to make sense. I tried to sit down and write up some notes before I sat down to film this, just to give myself some direction. I find it helps me a lot if I have at least a few notes so that I have a couple of things I know I want to talk about and mention. It just kind of keeps me on track because I feel like I ramble way too much if I don't have any notes. But also this week, I am just kind of all over the place. I'm stressed. I'm stressed about all the things that we need to get done. And I just realized I missed a drill up there. Get that one. I'm still stressed about all the things we need to do. And I'm trying to just be very zen about it and it'll all work out. Thinking back to when we applied for our permanent residency and I needed to update my passport and how all that was going to work and what were we going to do, and it all worked out fine. Didn't work out the way that I thought it would, but it all worked out fine. So I keep telling myself, just let it go. At the end of the day, it'll all be good. It doesn't, how we get to where we need to be doesn't matter as much as just the fact that we get there, right? I'm stressed because we still don't have the house on the market. We're still trying to finish up all of the painting and other things we need to do. On the upside, the extra time has given us time to get rid of some more furniture and things. We finally sold the sofa and love seat that were in the basement, so those are gone. We sold a couple of bookcases from the basement, so those are gone. So our basement is pretty empty. There's a TV and a TV stand, a desk, a couple of small bookcases, and our treadmill and our little, we have a total body gym that we bought that we keep telling ourselves that someday we're going to use. Hasn't happened yet, but I keep telling myself one of these days. Anyway, so the downstairs is looking pretty empty. We repainted all the interior doors that needed it. We have been touching up everything. I've talked many times about our paint saga with the upstairs and trying to get everything to match and all that craziness. We finally found one that matched, so we didn't have to paint the whole cathedral ceiling and everything, which I'm super happy about. However, we're running into the same issue in the office, and we ran into the same issue in the bedroom. Now, what we've been doing is some of our paint is close enough that we just have painted one wall because you can't really tell that we painted just the one wall. So it worked out in our master bedroom. The kitchen, dining room, living room, we were able to just do touch-ups, so that's all done. In the office, we're running into the same issue. Everything is just slightly off. Too dark, too light, etc. So we finally decided we're just going to paint 2 of the walls. The other 2 don't need it. And we're just going to call it good. However, that means when we paint in the office, we have to basically move all the furniture. So we have moved the big cedar chest. We've moved my little storage shelves that I keep a lot of my diamond painting stuff on. I've really pared down my diamond painting stuff. I mean, basically those shelves held unopened diamond paintings. They held my stash. Most of my stash is in boxes. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I've been trying to work on as many kits, even if that meant they were smaller ones, just to get the boxes out of the way so I didn't have to pack them up. I thought I was going to end up with like 4 or 5 boxes of totes of diamond paintings. I only have 3. I might have a 4th, but that's because we only bought 2 of the really big ones. If we went back, they were out of the really big ones when we went back the last time. So I just put them in the same old black and gold totes that we've been buying for everything else. But the really big diamond paintings don't fit in those totes. So one of these days, hopefully when we go back, they'll have those larger ones back in stock, and then instead of having 4, I can just have 3. Plus the larger totes have handles and wheels on them, so they're a lot easier to move because you can just pull them. The diamond paintings don't weigh a lot, but it's just easier. We also cleaned out what would be our 3rd bathroom downstairs. Hubby and I discussed whether or not we thought it was worth the return that we would get to finish the 3rd bathroom, and it might net us some more money to actually go ahead and finish it. Everything, it's rough plumbed and the electricity has been run, but the last time, it's been a couple of years, but the last time we called and asked for an estimate or a quote, it was going to be about $5,000 to get it done. So it's probably twice that now. And I have no idea how long it would take. It just doesn't seem worth it to wait. And we've got extra materials down there. There's extra sheetrock. My son's friend came and got some of it, but he didn't want all of it. So there's still some sheetrock down there, probably enough for them to finish the bathroom. There's lumber down there, insulation. Like I said, the wiring's all been run. So all they got to do is spend that money to have a plumber come in and do the fixtures. And then if they want to do all the rest of the finishing, the sheetrock, mudding and taping, painting, all that stuff, they can. I just think time frame wise, it doesn't make sense for us to do it, even if it would net us a little bit more money on the sale. So we opted not to do it. But we don't have an interior door for that room. It's just kind of been an open doorway. However, with all the sheetrock and everything piled up, I told my husband it's kind of ugly. So I think what we're going to do is we have trim. So we have enough trim that we bought for the inside of the bathroom as well. So they'll get all of that. We have enough trim that we could trim the door frame even if we didn't have a door. So I think what we're going to do is have hubby frame it with the trim, and then we're just going to buy like a tension rod and hang a curtain over it so you can't see all the ugly concrete and sheetrock and everything. There's extra carpet down there too that matches whatever was left over when we had the basement carpet. Hopefully no one wants carpet in their bathroom, but there's extra carpet down there from upstairs and downstairs. We're planning to leave the appliances. I don't know yet whether that's going to be a plus or a minus for some people. I guess we'll find out. If nothing else, if they don't want it, I guess then we can sell them, because I'm certainly not taking them with us. Hubby was looking on Kijiji for rentals to see what maybe our options were. Now, he talked to my brother-in-law, the one that owns the cottage by the shore on the bay, and he's offered to let us stay there for a couple of months. So like August and September. It's not a 4 seasons cottage, so if we were there after that, we'd have to find someplace else to stay because it would be just too cold. It's not insulated for the winter. He shuts it up after the summer. But he said, you know, as long as we paid the bills while we were there, then we could stay there, which is nice of him. But I told my husband, I don't want to go there and just be there a couple of months and then we've got to pack everything up and move again. I mean, I appreciate the offer. I don't want to have to move twice in 2 months. That sounds like a nightmare. However, hubby was looking on Kijiji and we found some apartments that would be big enough for us. 3 bedrooms. So hubby and I'd have a bedroom, son would have a bedroom, I'd have a diamond painting room. Not that that's necessary, but it would be nice. It was all included, a lot less expensive than I thought, and it included 2 parking spaces, 1 in a garage, which would be awesome. We don't need 2 parking spaces as yet. The plan is to buy a second car once we get to Canada so we can all travel together, but I don't know how soon that's going to happen. It depends on what hubby's work situation is. That's the rub for a lot of things, is we just don't know what hubby's work situation is going to be. We need to have a discussion with somebody who understands the taxes and figure out, is hubby just going to start withdrawing from his pension that he's transferring into an IRA and then get some kind of local job, whatever that may be, whether that's I mean, he could do anything from work on cars to work on computers to safety stuff in his line of work as a lineman. We just don't know what would be available. Or is he going to do storm work and basically will live in Canada, but he'll fly every so often into the States to do work in the States? And what does that mean? What does that look like tax-wise? Also, we don't know how much we're going to make from the sale of our house. Hubby, I think, is very optimistic about what we're going to make because we do have a mortgage that we'll have to pay off. It's a small mortgage, but it is a mortgage that we do have to pay off. So I don't know what that's going to look like because, again, with the whole job situation, same with rentals, they're going to want to do credit checks and employment history and all that kind of stuff. And I think for the bank, we would probably be okay because I think we're going to have enough in assets that if we took out a small loan, because the plan is to use whatever we make on the sale of the house to buy something up there. Or possibly rent, again, until we know the tax implications, I'm not sure. We could just take what we make on the sale of the house and use that to pay rent. But I don't know what capital gains would be in Canada. I know there's tax implications for owning property in Canada. And it all just is, of course, as complicated as possible. But anyway, just lots of options. Hubby's going to be talking to the financial guy next week to figure out what he needs to do to get it moved into the IRA. We're just going to roll it into the IRA and let it sit and take no withdrawals from it until we can talk to some financial people and figure out what those tax implications might be for us. So yeah, just lots of stuff for me to stress about. I'm also worrying about my brother's car, my dad's old car that we were storing for him. My husband actually found somebody online that was willing to take the car off of his hands. However, a couple days later, my husband hooked the two of them up and said, you guys work it out between yourselves. The guy lived out of state. It's my brother's car. Then my brother contacted my husband and I a couple days later. Do you guys have the title to the car? And I'm like, why would we have the title? It's not ours. And I told my husband, I know we don't have it. My sister was executor of my parents' estate. So I know when she did all that, she gave the title to my brother after we had it transferred because she and I went down to the DMV and we're the ones who, we got a very nice lady and she basically walked us through the whole process. Luckily, my sister is very organized and even took things we didn't think we would need that we actually ended up needing to get everything transferred into correct names and all that kind of stuff. So I know she gave him the, you guys, and I just put all those on the wrong symbol again. Arg. All right, I gotta go get some tweezers. All right, now can I remember where I put all these since I put them in the wrong place? All right, well, that was unnecessarily time consuming and annoying if I would just pay attention. And I dumped out all those drills and I only need one again. I think I got confused because I was looking for that symbol and I couldn't find it quickly, so I just grabbed another color and my brain was like, oh, you want to put these here? No, I really don't. I certainly did not want to spend all that time pulling them off. Okay, I think I lost one of them somewhere, but I'm sure I'll find it later. A couple of them went flying, so. All right, what color do I really want this time that I'm going to put in the right place? Okay, so back to my brother's car. Since he called and asked about whether or not we had the title, we haven't heard from him, so I don't know if he just blew the guy off because he couldn't find the title. I mean, it's an antique car. He could go and get the title again, just tell the people at the DMV that he lost it. I was actually doing some information searching myself because we need to put the title of my daughter's car. Well, we're discussing whether or not we need to put it in her name or if we can just add her name to the title. Because I think it would be easier to just add her name. So it'd still be our car, but her name would be on the title. So while we're in Canada, if she needs to do anything with it, then she can take care of it. without us having to come back down here. Maybe I'm just being silly and it would be just as easy to put it in her name. The thing is, we're not going to make her pay for it. We're just going to gift it to her. But after doing some searching on the internet, I'm not quite sure how to accomplish that either. All right, why am I having such a hard time finding symbols today? I need this little dot symbol. Oh, that's why, because I'm looking for a circle, but it's not really a circle. It is just with a little dot. Those are guide circles. So what I need is this color. Got it. Okay. Anyway, I would like to change it over to her and we can gift it to her, but I read that as long as the car is worth less than $18,000, we can gift it to her. So basically, we'd have to fill out a bill of sale that the amount of the sale is $0. So then she doesn't have to pay any sales tax on it, but she wouldn't have to pay any taxes on it, but she'd have to declare it on her taxes. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? So now I got to call somebody and find out how does this work? So we need to do that so she can get that put in her name. She got her driver's license finally, and she's been changing her address on other stuff. I think we finally got the last of her surgery bills too, so she's all done with that. Oh my gosh, she went for a checkup, just a regular exam with her doctor, and the doctor wanted her to get that HPV vaccine, which is fine. She did it, no worries, but oh my goodness, that vaccine is $400. I'm like, that's insane. Anyway, side tangent. So yeah, we've got to do stuff at the DMV. We still need to pay off. We've got one more payment to make on my husband's car to get my husband's car paid off. And then that should start the paperwork to get us the title so that we can have the title. So when we move to import it, we've got the title. Hubby and I have also been discussing whether it would be worth it while he's not working to send him on a little jaunt up to Canada and have him go check out in person some houses, some rental options, see who he can talk to, that sort of thing, figure out if we are going to have a place to land. I mean, in the short term, we can stay in a hotel for a couple of weeks. I don't want to do that because it's going to be super expensive, but we could until we could find something. However, expense aside, with the job situation, I don't know what that's going to look like either. I mean, in theory, I'd like to say that we could just tell a landlord, hey, we'll just pay this much rent up front. Oh, and one of the apartments that my husband was looking at was rent month to month, which I thought we'd have to sign a lease. So maybe we'll get luckier than I thought, but yeah, just so many things going on, trying to figure out from here what we're doing is not the easiest thing. Still waiting on my son's diploma to get here. They're supposed to start mailing them out at the beginning of July, so hopefully we'll get that sometime soon, because it kind of doesn't feel real since he didn't actually go to commencement and walk. It kind of just feels very anticlimactic that he's finished. There's that part of me that's like, it's not real until I see the diploma with his name on it, you know? Still waiting on his diploma, still working on the house. Like I said, we moved a bunch of stuff in the basement. However, we do need to paint the basement. So it's a good thing that it's empty because now we can paint it, but that does mean we have to get everything set up so that we can paint it. So probably for sure this weekend we spent a bunch of time painting, and probably a couple of days this week we'll spend some time painting and getting everything finished up so we can get it on the market. I feel like we get it on the market and then we send hubby to Canada, but that's also a bit frustrating. So it's like, so you don't have to be here and be the one who rushes around and cleans and does whatever while we're waiting for the house to sell for showings and whatnot. But hubby tells me, oh, it's going to sell really fast. We won't need to have that many showings, so it won't be that big a deal. Always the glass half full guy. All right, so I put the right color on that symbol this time. Do I have any other ones? Oh, I missed some black ones right there. Darn it. Okay. So still cleaning, sorting, doing all the things. It feels like a never-ending process. Although I am starting to feel like we've done enough, the house is empty enough that the rest of what's left is just, we still live here. So we're gonna have stuff in the house, deal with it. We will make it as clean. Like I said, we still do plan to steam clean the carpets. That'll probably be something that gets done this week as well. And then we can go from there. We had a pantry in the basement, just some shelves. I would stock up on things like toilet paper, paper towels. My husband had a bunch of like soup cans, dish soap, some non-perishable food products, that sort of thing. And I had just been doing that for a while, but I said now that we're going to be moving, I don't really need to stock up on that stuff anymore. Let's move all that stuff out of the pantry. We'd gotten rid of a bunch of kitchen stuff, so now we have room to put it in like kitchen cabinets, so let's move everything. So we did that, got some shelving out of the way. So the bathroom down there looks really huge now because it was a big bathroom anyway, but now that we've got a bunch of the stuff that we had stored down there put away. So we just have gone through a lot of cabinets and things like that and gotten rid of things, which means that we had the extra room to kind of hide things away. I'm still working on that in the office. I was going to get rid of my shelving unit where I had all my stash stored. My stash is packed up, and I thought, well, I'll just get rid of the shelving unit, but I still have so much stuff. Trays and like extra Elizabeth Ward containers and storage containers and like the Elizabeth Ward trays themselves, bottle storage cases, that kind of thing, that I just really don't know what to do with. I suppose I should just pack them in a tote, and then the tote can sit in here, and at least things would not be, it would just be a tote sitting somewhere instead of my big shelving unit. I was going to cover it up. That was my latest brainstorm. I was going to cover it up with like a tablecloth or something, but then I thought that's just going to look even weirder. Plus, they're nice shelves. It's like a stainless steel, but just for someone's bedroom. It's probably not someone's idea of bedroom furniture. So I think I've decided I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and put some of it away where I'm just going to have to maybe go dig through some stuff. Actually, what I could do, I have a cedar chest that's going to stay in here. What I could do is take all the mementos and stuff that are currently stored in the cedar chest and actually pack those away in a tote, because those are not things I'll need to access. And then put all my diamond painting stuff inside the cedar chest, because that does look like a good piece of furniture, a nice piece of furniture for a bedroom, and then just leave it like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. That sounds like a good plan. What I have in the cedar chest is in boxes anyway, so I literally could just take those boxes and put them inside a tote. So it wouldn't take very long. That sounds like a good plan. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we cleaned out a bunch of the stuff out of the kitchen, like I said. Let me find this symbol here, because there it is. All right. We cleaned out a bunch of the kitchen cabinets, which was good. Some of the stuff my husband actually took from our pantry and our kitchen cabinets, he's going to take to like a local shelter, see if they can use any of it. But we cleaned out a bunch of the kitchen cabinets, and I said we need to get stuff off the counters, because I think I've said before, my husband never met a flat surface he couldn't cover with something. Because we had the kitchen counters, kitchen cabinets bare, I said let's see, what all was sitting on my kitchen counters. We have a bread box, my KitchenAid mixer, we had a double basket air fryer, which was huge. We had the Instapot, the toaster, our ice maker, and then we have like a little area next to our sink where any dishes that have to be done by hand, there's a little dish drying space there. And I said to my husband, okay, now that we have this cabinet emptied, which it basically was a cabinet where I was keeping all of my baking supplies, and I went through and got rid of a bunch of stuff. And I said, now that this cabinet is open, let's go through and put the Instapot, because we don't use the Instapot as much as we used to, and the air fryer underneath here. because the cabinet was big enough, I thought you could just easily pull the air fryer in and out. That turns out not to be the case, but I'm okay with that. I don't really want another air fryer. I want to get like a little toaster oven. Same purpose, and it won't take up nearly as much space. Anyway, so I said, let's get all this stuff cleaned off so we can get this off the cabinets and see how big the kitchen looks with things off the countertops. So we put away the Instapot, we put away the giant air fryer, and just those two things. Oh my gosh, my kitchen counters look huge. The counter is still covered, the bar top is still covered with cans of paint. So once we finish all the painting stuff up here, then those will either go out to the garage or downstairs, where we're going to need them downstairs to paint. And then all that will be out there. And I'm planning on putting away my KitchenAid mixer. Is going to get boxed up. I just don't have a box big enough for it yet, because that is definitely going with us. I love my KitchenAid stand mixer. Definitely going with us to Canada, but I don't really use it except at holidays. I just don't bake like I used to, but I do plan to bake more once we get to Canada, so I want to take it with us. So once we get those taken off the counter, it will look even bigger. In the kitchen, I mean, our kitchen looks twice as big as it was with everything gone. So, and we have like a buffet in our dining room that we had all kinds of stuff sitting on. I've cleaned it all off except for one little decoration. So now that looks all nice and clean and neat. My husband cleaned out the TV stand where he was storing a bunch of electronic stuff. It's kind of been eye-opening just to see how much stuff we've accumulated in the 10 years that we've been, 12 years that we've been together. Yeah, it'll be 12 years this year. And this is before we haven't even tackled the garage. Hubby's done a few things in the garage because he had to go through all of his work stuff, and he had like a lot of cold weather gear from when he worked in Canada as a lineman. So he wanted to keep some of that stuff in case he's working in like the New England areas, which I told him it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting hurricane season. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him to work hurricanes and storms. Although right now everybody's having a heat wave. So I said I definitely want to make sure that we have air conditioning options wherever we go. We are taking a portable air conditioning unit with us, which is something that we bought, probably 3 or 4 years ago when our air conditioner went out, because it was, of course, in the middle of summer. Like, our temperatures next week are supposed to be over 100 pretty much every day or close to it. So it's hard for me to imagine there are places where people who don't have air conditioning, but it's never really until recently been a thing in Canada. A lot of people have heat pumps now where we're going, but before it's just cold enough that even during the summer people didn't really need air conditioning. Not so much anymore. In fact, hubby was laughing because the town where his mom lives was warmer than us at least twice this past week, which seems crazy because they're way north of us. So yeah, just lots of stuff going on, lots of anxiety for me because we don't exactly know what to do job-wise, money-wise. I know we just need to talk to a tax person, and that will probably settle a lot of my anxiety. We contacted one place that does cross-border taxes because they have to know the tax laws in both places. It's $500 for a consult, which that's for an hour, and it's an hour that a tax professional who knows both the ins and outs of both systems can give us some helpful advice. So it's not that I mind paying it. It's just a little bit steep while we don't have any money coming in. However, we're going to do that pretty soon because we need some answers before. I would like to know what we need to do or what the best thing to do for hubby's job situation would be. And I'm sure he'd like to know that too. I know he really wants to just not work. Of course he does. I mean, who wants to work, right? If we could all exist and pay our bills without having to work, we'd all be doing that. Life, unfortunately, doesn't work that way. However, like I said, if we could live off of some withdrawals from his pension and then supplement that with other income, because I don't think he's gonna take any Social Security until he's 62, which is not for a while yet. He's still going to have to do something. And I'll be continuing the YouTube and hopefully the second channel, and that'll be some income as well. So we'll see how that goes. I keep telling myself I need to get busy with that. I need to do some filming while we're still here. Maybe film some of the craziness that I'm currently sharing with you guys about what all is going on. I don't know. I feel like what would be the point in going over it twice? So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we're just kind of in this weird limbo where it feels simultaneously like nothing is happening and also too much is happening. It feels like the move is going really slow, but it feels like everything with hubby and his job situation is going really fast. So there's this weird please slow down on some things and this weird please speed up on other things. And also, I think a lot of it is just, it feels weird because hubby is now home all day, every day. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just, that's not been, for the last 12 years, he goes to work every day. And we didn't take that many vacations. So I can't even say that it's sort of like a vacation. I mean, it feels a little bit like that, I guess. But with the worry about income in the back of my mind, I think that's the stressor. Him being home, while him being home is nice, it's just not our usual. And so it's taking a bit for us to kind of get used to each other, being around each other 24/7 again. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that probably sounds weird. We're married, we're with each other all the time, but he worked 12-hour days, and here for the last, 2 or 3 months, he was gone Sunday through Thursday. So it's just another change. And I mean, we got used to the change of him being gone all week and only being home on the weekends. So I know it'll be fine. It just is weird. So he's not working. Youngest is done with school. I'm not working other than doing YouTube stuff and diamond painting. So it just is weird because everybody can kind of do what they want when they want, within reason, of course. But as we get to the end of the month and no more paychecks are coming in and bills are now going to be due for next month, which is fine. We have enough money to cover them, but that cushion that I've kind of built for ourselves, and that cushion that was going to be, this is how we're going to sustain ourselves for a while until we get on our feet in Canada, is now going to get spent keeping us afloat here. So yeah, it's all just a bit weird, and I think it's just, yeah, until we have some things figured out, I'm going to feel like I'm in this weird kind of limbo. So yeah, lots of stuff. I really, like I said, want to figure out the whole taxes situation and his job situation. Once those two things, we have some questions answered, I think that'll go a long way towards alleviating a lot of my anxiety. Then we'll see what happens. Although hubby and I were talking today, taxes are always weird, right? Oh, I missed some more black right there. We normally get a federal refund, which I'm assuming we still will this year because, well, I say that. I don't know if we will this year or not, because usually my husband, we pay way more in taxes than we should for all the deductions we get. So we get a refund, federal. We almost always owe state, which is fine, but whatever. Anyway, so then I was like, well, you can get credit for the taxes that we'd be paying in Canada because for 2024, we will have lived in both places. So we'll file our taxes in Canada, pay whatever taxes we need to, and then we'll file our taxes with the US, get a credit for whatever we paid in Canada, however that works out. But then I told my husband, because Canada's taxes are more, does that mean, like, say we were going to get $1,000 back federal and we paid, we'll say $3,000 in Canada. That's going to be nowhere near the numbers, but whatever, just for illustrative purposes. So does that mean we just get how does that work? Yeah, we get a credit for the taxes that we paid in Canada, but if that's more than what we would have paid in the States, does that increase our refund in the States? And my husband's like, well, I think that's how it works. I'm like, you don't know. And also, it's the government. I can't see them just being like, oh yeah, you paid more taxes in Canada, so here's some more of your money. I mean, that should be how it works, but that just doesn't seem like how the IRS normally operates. So we'll just have to see. I'm curious to see how it all works. Like I said, I know people do this all the time. There are something like, what did I say the last time? Something like 1 million US people, US citizens living and working in Canada. So it can be done. Just takes a little bit more work. And hopefully we'll be able to afford whatever the cross-border tax accountants need us to pay to do our taxes, because it's going to be kind of crazy. That's one of the other things that has stopped me starting the other YouTube channel, is I really am not clear on how YouTube payments are going to work with me being a US citizen. My gut tells me leaving it as is. It's a 1099, and then whether they pay me in US dollars, whether they're paying me to a US or Canadian bank account, I don't know that it makes any difference to YouTube. And of course, I'm hoping that that channel gets monetized really quickly, but I don't know that either. So maybe I should just go ahead and start it. I don't know. I think too, just in the back of my head, I'm kind of like, well, do I want to start a bunch of that work for myself, a second channel, and all the work that that's going to entail before, while we're in the middle of a move? Part of me says just make a bunch of videos, and then after we're done moving, I can use them, but film them now. But then that kind of seems like, so I don't know. Yeah, just tons of things that we need to figure out, and I'm hoping we can get them all figured out before we move, and before I have hopped on my anxiety crazy train. My husband is really good about dealing with me when my anxiety ramps up, because he just doesn't let stuff bother him. And so he's very good about, it'll be cool, it'll all work out, no worries, it'll be fine, which some days is great and makes me feel better, and some days just makes me want to scream even louder. But he's dealt with my crazy many times before, so it'll all be fine. I think that's everything I wanted to share for my real life. So yeah, just lots going on, but lots of same old, same old. So hopefully these aren't getting too boring for you guys, hearing about all my anxiety. I know it's not the most fun to listen to someone stress, but I just have a lot going on. All right, so on to more fun things. What's going on in my diamond painting life? See, again, this weird dichotomy. I want to say not a lot, but I mean, I'm doing stuff. We're still doing DP for Pets 2024. I am just overwhelmed at the amount of you who are participating this year, and just so grateful that everybody is working hard and making it an awesome event. The Facebook group is growing by leaps and bounds. If you're not in the Facebook group, go join us. It's Diamond Painting Anonymous. I think there's like 1,800 of us now, which seems crazy to say, because when I started the group, I thought I would never get to a couple hundred. I'm not a big Facebook user anyway. I have been trying to remember to go in and do like daily posts so people can post their progress pics. Tons of you have been doing that on your own, so it's amazing. Keep it up. I love seeing all the stuff that people are working on. There are tons of you who have already filled out the exit form, so I've seen your finished products. Those look amazing as well. If you are finished, I will stick a link to the exit form below so you can fill it out. Don't forget you need a finish pick. I may switch up how I do this event next year. I haven't decided yet, but it's funny to me how many people get used to doing things for other events and just assume that all events do it that way. Like, I've had so many people ask me where they need to post their start pick, but I don't require a start pick because I asked for a finish pick, and people posting their progress, which I love, so please keep doing that, but it's not required to participate. Like, if you just are not a big social media person and you just want to fill out the entry and exit forms, that's totally cool as well. I'm fine with that. These events have always been for me just a way to kind of share some community with people, and hey, let's all work on cute animal stuff. And there have been some really cute kits, so I'm really excited for the video montage of all the finishes. I finished 3 kits myself, so I'm excited. There's many of you who are only doing 1 kit. If that's all you're doing and it's a larger kit, it's great. Don't worry about it. We're only in the 4th week and there's 5 weeks, so you still have a week to go, so don't worry about it. Just do what you can do. You have until midnight on June 30th, like I said, to fill out the exit form. So as long as you get in there 11:59, you're good. So yeah, really looking forward to all of that. I've seen lots of people posting on Facebook and Instagram. Hopefully, if you tag me or use the hashtag DP4Pets2024, I found your post and I liked it. Instagram has been a bit weird for me lately. Like I went in to do something and like my entire layout was completely different. I was like, what is this? And then the next time I went in, it was back to normal. So I don't know what Instagram is doing, but I do search. So if you've used the hashtag, even if you didn't tag me, if you use the hashtag, I do search for it to try and make sure that I've liked all the cool things that everybody's doing. So like I said, I've done 3 kits. I showed you guys the finish of my Yorkie kit. I did finish my 2 little small kits, so you'll be seeing the post-completion reviews. I think I'm going to put those both in one video, so you'll see those. I'm working on Jasper Sea to try and get this one finished. This doesn't count for DP for Pets, but this is a kit that I'm working on. I'm actually trying to sneak in my Jetsons kit. I don't know if I'm going to get that finished, but we'll see if I get that finished before the end of the month. And then, of course, if you saw yesterday's video, I opened up my Belly Dancer kit, which is my last of my 5 oldest kits, which I'm super excited about. I didn't really have anything. I've been doing the DP Bingo event. I didn't really have anything. The Yorkie counted for a couple of things in that event, but the 2 little ones didn't really count for anything. I don't know if the Jetsons will or not. We'll see. But I'm hoping to do some more with that for that event. And then I think I'm going to be evented out until after the move. Because once we move, after that, DP for Vets, which is in November, will be coming up pretty darn quick. So I'm going to need to get stuff done for that. But yeah, just working right along, whether it's a DP for Pets kit or something else. Just working. I did, after I unboxed the Belly Dancer kit, I started looking at it, and I mentioned in the video that I wanted to add some ABs and maybe some other kind of specialty drills. So I went looking through my stash. The thing is, it's a square kit, and I have a lot more AB drills for rounds because the 2 diamond painting Deutschlands that I did, the Josephine walls, were round and not square. So I just don't have as many ABs and other drills for squares. So I went out yesterday and I purchased some drills. Now, I specifically went to go purchase some drills because I wanted to get some gold metallic drills. I was going to use my Diamond Dots metallic drills that I've used many times, and then I realized they're round. So that's not going to work with Belly Dancer because Belly Dancer is a square. And I had been debating with myself whether or not I wanted to buy some extra colors of the pixie dust slash fairy dust slash glitter dust slash whatever people are calling the mica drills. So I went out to DP with Sparklers and I just picked some random colors of, they call them pixie dust, I think, drills in both round and square that I can use in Belly Dancer. And I also ordered, the reason I was there, I also ordered some square gold metallic drills, and I'm going to use those on the gold jewelry. I've used the round Diamond Dots gold metallic drills several times in several different kits, and I have loved how they looked each time. So I'm super excited to get those and see. I think I ordered the metallic drills and then I ordered, like, I don't know, another 10 or 11 colors of the pixie dust, half in square, half in rounds, because I just have really been enjoying the kits that come with the pixie dust. So, and I am working on trying to figure out how I want to update my logbook for 2025. Gosh, that seems insane. That next year is going to be 2025. Anyway, I want to see how I want to update it. I put a post out, so if you missed it, you might go look for it on the YouTube channel, just a community post. It's under the community tab with some ideas about how I could change the section of the logbook page where it has ABs, because all I had before was the total number of colors in the kit, the number of ABs, and then the total number of drills. And I've had several people ask about, could I make some changes so that there was a way to track ABs and fairy dust and whatever else. So I made changes that I think would let you track ABs, the fairy dust, iridescent, the electro, and glow in the dark, which is kind of the big five from Diamond Art Club that they use. There's glitter drills, there's jelly drills, there's a million different kinds. And so I kind of thought, well, I think the ABs, the glow in the dark, the fairy dust, I think iridescent metallic, I think those will be the most used. So I included those, and then I just included a one line for other. So if there were jellies or square slivers or you bought specialty, whatever, you could add those in and add those there. So go check that out and look at it and let me know what you think, if that's enough changes or if I need to do anything else. I'm really curious to see the difference. I have not been doing enough new Diamond Art Club kits. I've kind of been focusing on older kits, that I've not really done too many kits that had any of their new specialty drills other than ABs. I've done a couple of kits that had fairy dust. Like I did the Daphne from Scooby-Doo. She had one fairy dust drill. The Jetsons has a couple of fairy dust, so I'll get some experience there. But I don't think that I've ever gotten a kit that had the electro drills, whatever they call those. I've not gotten any that had no, I've done a glow in the dark, but I've not gotten any that had the iridescent, because I don't understand the difference between iridescent and AB, because the AB has an iridescent coating. So what is the iridescent coated with that makes it different than an AB? So to that end, not just because of that, but it just happened to be a little happy accident. A little happy accident, a la Bob Ross. No, a little happy accident that there was a new release that I was interested in getting from Diamond Art Club. So I was out looking to see what they had for new releases. I saw this one, and then I saw it was one of the little mini Dazzles kit. I originally wasn't going to get one of those. I've done paint gems, and I thought, well, but you always got to work for that free shipping. So I thought, it's only $18. I'll just go ahead and get one that I thought was cute anyway, and then I'll see. And when I got to looking, the kit that I wanted to get, the new release, has iridescent and the fairy dust drills. So I'll be able to hopefully compare the fairy dust or the iridescent to ABs and see if I can figure out what the difference is, if they look any different or if they just look the same. And the mini kit that I got actually has fairy dust drills in it as well. And it looked like there were several colors in it. So it looks like I'll be getting some nice experience with the different kinds of drills that I've not seen before. The mini kit, obviously, I can open and complete pretty quickly. That's the point of mini kits. I don't know how quickly I'm going to work on the new release that I get, but at least I can open it and look at the drills and see what the difference is. I mean, if you guys know what the difference is and you want to share in the comments, that's totally cool. Not a spoiler for me or whatever. I'm just curious about what the difference is, since literally an AB is described as a drill with an iridescent coating. How is that different than an iridescent drill? So yeah, I ordered two kits from Diamond Art Club. One is a new release, the other one isn't, but I did make sure that neither one of them were pre-order kits, so I shouldn't have to wait for the two kits to arrive like I had to with my Jetsons, because the other one that I ordered was a pre-order. I have all these little one-off drills that I either have missed or just they're ending up being one-off, so I haven't pulled that color out. I'm Trying to just do my little spearfishing thing so I don't have to dump them all out. So yeah, not nearly as much, I guess, going on in my diamond painting life. Why did I dump all these out? I don't need that many. Not nearly as much going on in my diamond painting life as there is in my regular life, but I mean, that's to be expected while we're trying to sell the house and move, right? It'll be interesting to see if we end up sending hubby up there by himself. Oh, I missed 2 more. I knew I missed those and I missed them again. It'll be interesting sending hubby up there by himself to see what he can find for us, because I would just send him. Youngest and I would stay here. I mean, we could go, I suppose, but I don't want to pay for plane tickets for all of us. When he can go up, he can stay with his mom. That way he doesn't have to pay for a hotel to stay in. Because if I go, we have to get a hotel because they have cats and I'm allergic. Plus my brother-in-law has a huge St. Bernard. I'm just uncomfortable around. The last time we were there for a visit, he was in a muzzle, thank goodness. I mean, he's a sweet enough dog once you get to know him, but we were new. And so my brother-in-law had the muzzle on him. And my husband was petting him and he seemed fine. And I reached out my hand to give him a treat. And he just went after me, barking right in my face and scared the holy out of me. And so ever since then, I'm uncomfortable because I just feel like I never know when he's gonna, and he's a St. Bernard, so he's huge. Like literally when you sit down, his head is level with the table. So dining is fun. My husband's like, oh, we should get a St. Bernard. I'm like, I'm not getting a St. Bernard. I am not getting a drool dog. So no boxers, no pugs, no St. Bernards, nothing that drools because I just, can't handle it. I want my sweet little dogs. We were talking to somebody. I don't remember who. We were talking to somebody. I think my husband was talking to one of the neighbors, and they were asking about our dogs. Yeah, they got sick, and so we don't have them anymore, and I miss my little dachshunds. That's one of the things I'm really looking forward to when we do finally get up there, is getting some little doggos again. I have a feeling we're going to get 2, one for me and my husband and one for my son, but that's cool. I'm fine with that. All right, let me finish up this color here because I think, does this color finish up this section? No, I'm still going to go in and finish that black, and I've got a green X here that I missed that I need to go back and fill in. I wish I'd ordered some of the fairy dust drills sooner. I wonder what it would have looked like to put some of them in here in Jasper Sea. That's why I went ahead and ordered several different just random colors. I tried to just pick colors that I thought would be used a lot in a lot of different kits. Like what kits in my diamond painting, what colors do I see a lot of? Not 310s or anything like that. I didn't want to do any dark colors, but you know, some lavenders, some pinks, some greens, just some of those colors you kind of see all the time. And I was interested to see on the DP with sparklers, a couple of them that I bought, and I made a screenshot so I wouldn't lose it because I didn't know if it would show up on my order or not, my order email. There are several of the colors that I got. It says that because of the way the drills are manufactured, sometimes the colors are slightly off. Never bothers me. I will use them no matter what. But they had a list of, so if you get like 211, this could also be good for this DMC, this DMC, this DMC. It didn't specifically say 211, but you get my meaning. So I kept that so that I can keep track of, oh, well, if this doesn't work with this color, does it work with this one? I have started kind of going, oh, well, this one matches. Like in this particular kit, this is DMC 893, according to wherever I got these drills from, which was probably DP with sparklers. And this is 956. They're slightly different, but they're close enough for me because you're going to be looking at the AB side anyway, that even though they're not a perfect match, I'm using these in place of this color because I want to. This one I just didn't think matched. It was too light compared to the ABs, but I probably could substitute this for that as well if I wanted to. So yeah, don't be bound by what the schematic tells you. If you want to substitute in something else that you think would be more fun, go ahead and do it. Yeah, there have been a couple of times that I've picked off some drills, but for the most part, I would say 99% of the time, I'm happy with how it looks when I get finished and I just leave it. So don't be afraid to experiment. All right, so I've finished that section. I'm at a good spot to stop talking because I feel like I've been talking for a while today. So the last thing that we need to do is have our week 4 giveaway. So I've gone through and updated it because I still have people submitting stuff on the entry form, which you're welcome to do. Remember, you can only have one entry in the final prize drawing, but you can have multiple entries in the weekly drawing. So I've updated that. There are an absolute ton of you. So again, a huge thank you to everybody who is participating. I super appreciate it. I can't wait to have the final prize package drawing and get those exciting prizes sent off to everybody. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to mention. I had a lovely lady named Bethany who runs an Etsy shop called Barnstar Paint with Diamonds, and I'll throw a link to it down in the bottom. She sent me this lovely, she calls it a door hanger, but it's like acrylic with this lovely little butterfly on it. And it says door hanger, but if you seal it, I think I'm going to hang it outdoors. I may just hang it in a window, but it's got little stickers and the drills. So thank you, Bethany, for sending it to me. I went and checked it out. She has a lot of stuff like that. So if you want to check out our Etsy store, feel free. Okay, last order of business is a drawing. So let's do the drawing. Let me stop my timer because I'm not diamond painting. Let me bring up my little decision wheel here. We are in giveaway number 4. Hopefully that is in focus. Let me spin my little wheel here and see who our week 4 winner is. Cheryl Klinkenbeard. Congratulations, Cheryl. So Cheryl, if you will send me an email at diamondpaintinganonymous@gmail.com and let me know your mailing address so I can get the week 4 weekly prize out to you, I will do that. We have one more weekly giveaway because there are 5 weeks in June this year. So if you didn't win this time, don't despair. You've got one more chance. And then, of course, everybody who fills out the exit form and finishes their kit by June 30th at midnight, you will be entered into the final prize drawing. So make sure you filled out both the entry and the exit form. I will start double checking those. I'm downloading all of your wonderful pics, as I said. And yeah, we're over halfway there, so thank you so much to everybody for participating and all your hard work posting and painting and all the things that you're doing. I really appreciate it. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around through this really big ramble of a video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.